Welcome back. We are on episode 3 of Reading Through The Strength in Our Scars by Bianca Sparacino. A quick overview for those of you who have not joined us before. I am just reading a couple of quotes from the book and talking about the concepts that they bring out. Obviously, I'm not reading all the quotes because I do not want to have any copyright infringement, but I did want to do a little bit different of a book review kind of thing and stretch it out over several videos instead of it just being one video. We're doing several videos bringing out different concepts from the book because it does jump through a lot of different concepts because each page or so is a different quote. So it's a little more difficult to actually do a book review of this kind of book. And I haven't even read the whole book yet, so we're reading through it together. Okay, I found the quote for this week. It's on page 21 and it says, "In a world that seeks connection, we oddly avoid eye contact. We time our text responses in order to protect ourselves from seeming too eager or too interested. We hold our feelings back because we don't want to seem overly emotional or unreasonable. We silence our instincts, and at the end of the day, instead of feeling good about ourselves, we feel alone. We feel misunderstood. Remember, it is okay to be emotional, to seek help, to confidently tell someone you enjoy being around that you are infatuated with them. There is nothing wrong with vulnerability, with being human, for that is what creates depth within our relationships, and that is what ultimately unifies us." I have to be honest, as an introvert, I am 100% guilty of this. Unfortunately, our world is not a safe place anymore, and I definitely feel that. And so I don't want to interact with people in a public setting because I never know what their intentions might be or if they're safe to even interact with. But when I do have interactions with people in public, it really helps me realize that there are still nice people out there, and it just brightens my whole day because it's organic human connection that we don't get a whole lot anymore. It's those little interactions with people at the DMV or the grocery line that just restore my faith in humanity and help me not have quite such a negative view of the world. When it comes to friendships, I feel like I'm a lot more open in those settings because I've already vetted the people and I know that they're most likely safe. But I do still find it hard to express my genuine appreciation for them without it seeming weird because people don't really do that very often anymore. One of my best friends back home really helped me start doing this more though, because she would do it to me. And that really just encouraged me to do it back and do it for my other friends of just like, if they did or said something that reminded me of a trait that they have that I really appreciate and admire in them, just saying so, like, hey, I really appreciate that you do this or this. And it's never been an awkward experience when I've done that. It has deepened our friendship and helped the other person to feel appreciated. And we all love to feel appreciated, so it's a win-win. I have not, however, had the guts to tell someone that I liked them. I do realize it's 2023 and I could be the one to make the move, but I'm old-fashioned and I still want the guy to be the one that initiates a proclamation of interest. I feel like if I actually was in a relationship, I would be really open about like saying things I appreciate about them. But I have never been in a relationship, so I think a lot of us try to just let our actions speak, but oftentimes backing up our actions with words really does help. Because yes, you might be doing a bunch of nice things for the person, but saying how much you care about them and saying specific things that you admire in them has a lot more of an impact than just doing things in the spirit of love. I think we also as a society tend to downplay our emotions and hide our emotions, and I don't think that's healthy at all. We like to say whatever's on our mind when it's negative. We like having that freedom of speech that we can just say whatever we want to say and not worry about the consequences. But there are still consequences. But I feel like we've lost the art of being open with our positive thoughts as well. I don't see as many people going up to some random person and complimenting them on their outfit or just making those little touch points. We are a very secluded society. We tend to have our own little bubbles and our own little lives, and we don't really have as many of those random connections with strangers anymore. And I feel like that's why I loved my small town back home so much. It's because it just feels like more of a family environment. Like, I don't mean like family friendly. I mean like People are more likely to actually acknowledge you in the street or react positively if you go up to them and strike up a conversation. And I kind of want to turn this a slightly different direction too. I find for myself, when I am feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, lonely, I tend to self-isolate, which obviously makes the problem worse. Yes, I might need rest. I might need time away from people because I am an introvert. But often, if I force myself to go out and keep my plans with friends, I feel better. So I guess my advice for this week would be, if you are feeling exhausted and lonely and isolated and you're thinking about canceling your plans with your friends, don't do it. If it does feel too overwhelming to go out with the whole friend group, if it's like a larger friend group, maybe choose the few of your favorite friends, your closest friends, and make plans with them. But don't just stay home. Don't just scroll on your phone. You will feel worse if you do that. Getting out and having good quality human connection is going to help so much. I think we're losing touch with how much we as humans do need connection. And we feel like we have connection because we're on social media and we're seeing so many details of everyone else's lives. But that is not what our brains need. That does not create the same type of connection as when we're actually physically with the person. So go out there this week and prioritize time with a few of your good friends and make note of how it affects your overall outlook and your mood for the day, and really savor those good human connections. That is it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're enjoying this series, please comment down below and let me know so I can know to continue. And if you have any constructive criticism, I am open to that as well. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week.